Usually in some video games there is the opportunity to adjust the difficulty to your skill level. If you like challenges, for example, you will always choose difficulty hard or higher in video games, or maybe some special names such as Merciless from Persona 5, for example. But what if there is no normal difficulty? That means you'll be looking at Fear and Hunger! Now, don't misunderstand what I just said. Fear and Hunger mode is pretty easy once you know all the stuff, but some players may think this is easy mode and just go play on Terror and Starvation. But here today I'm gonna explain all the differences that are between Terror and Starvation and hard mode, and then also maybe the last one. Alright, so let's start from the biggest difference. In Terror and Starvation difficulty, you don't emit light. What does that mean? Once you enter in a room and you don't have a torch light up, then you're not gonna be able to see anything if you step into the darkness. And this is probably my least favorite thing about Terror and Starvation, because if you finish torches, it just becomes tedious to play. After that, there is something that probably caused a lot of players' deaths. If at the start you enter from the main gate, then the dogs are gonna follow you inside, and they are very fast, so unless you're able to like block them in an angle or juke them, they're gonna catch you and defeat you. We're off to a good start, right? Okay, let's move to something else. So, do you remember the Miasma event? I have a video about how does the Miasma event work. But anyways, while in Fear and Hunger difficulty, the Miasma event only happens if you have 49 or less mind. Here, if you have 69 or less mind, the Miasma event is gonna be triggered. So 20 more mind required is needed in order to stay conscious. Also, there is a variation in food barrels. All the food barrels in the game have 25% chance when you try to loot them to give you a rotten item from a different pool of food items. And the rotten items are gonna poison you when you eat them. Then there is an important change on the enemies. If you watched at least one of my how to fight this enemy guide, you will know that in Terror and Starvation difficulty, some enemies will have more HP on some body parts. One of the most important cases is the guard, that is gonna have from 20 HP on the arms, is gonna have 250 HP on the arms. And this is not over, because if you don't have escape plan, then your chances of escaping by using the escape skill are gonna be lowered in Terror and Starvation difficulty. If you have escape plan, they don't change at all. After this, there is a very particular, to say the least, change in Terror and Starvation difficulty. Basically, there are some bookshelves that are gonna have rats inside of them. And in particular, if you fail the coin flip of the bookshelf, you're gonna get attacked by that rat and you're gonna get infection. This bookshelf is always gonna be the one to the left of the center square in Mahabre, but only in the present if you interact with it. And then, after that, there are also gonna be bookshelves in the level 1, and more precisely in the zone where Torture and Enki are usually present. And your run has 50% chance to have the blue bookshelf with a rat, or 50% chance to have the red bookshelf with a rat. There are 3 different conformations of this level, and these are all the affected bookshelves. Then there are new enemies. In particular, the new enemies are the Black Witch, which is gonna appear inside of Mahabre in the present on these small ritual circles once you either walk to them or walk far from them. Note, you don't have to kill them in the flip side basement in order for her to appear here, and also I'm gonna make a separate video about the Black Witch which shows all the locations, so no worries. And the other new enemy is gonna be in the Void after you sit on the throne in order to get either ending D or ending C. But since this may be a little too spoilery, I'm gonna blur just to be sure, but I'm gonna make a video about how to fight him, no worries. Also, there is a very special interaction while in Terror and Starvation difficulty. The Harvestman near the Temple District is gonna grab the girl when you walk near this crack in the wall. She's gonna take her, and then if you go to the Temple District where the Harvestman usually is, he's gonna be there just petting the girl. Look at that stupid bastard. The last major change in Terror and Starvation difficulty is the presence of 2 variations of Enki and Ragnvaldr once you traverse this arc of Mahabre either in the present or in the past. But note, if you go through this part precisely in the past, they are not gonna spawn, and these variations are Marriage Enki in the level 7 basement, and Ragnvaldr Flower Brain in the Thicket level 3, the level with the Eastern Sword. The catch? These 2 fights are bugged.
If you enter in the fight, the enemy is instantly gonna die and you can loot them very, very safely.
But now let's arrive to my favorite change in Terror and Starvation difficulty. Okay, so, once you start a run, there is a 50% chance to trigger a certain switch, 50% chance to trigger another one. What do these switches do? The first one is gonna make you have a 50% chance every time you walk on these tiles here to make the Crow Mauler break the wall in front of you and start attacking you. This is the corridor in the level 1 of the dungeon in the same zone as Torture that leads you usually to the library with Enki. But the other switch is gonna be able to trigger the Crow Mauler with 50% chance every time you walk across the staircase. He's gonna smash the wall in front of you, and if you're not prepared, he's gonna start attacking you. And now that's pretty much it for Terror and Starvation difficulty. I gotta be honest, I love the genuine attempt of creating a balance between the new mechanics and the old mechanics. The problem is only the torches in my opinion. Without those, the difficulty would probably be my favorite one. But now, let's jump in to hard mode. So, all the things I said on Terror and Starvation are applied here, all of them, but there are new things. Let's look at the pros, okay? You can do S endings in this difficulty. This is the only difficulty in which you can do them. But if we look at the cons, okay, so the other three main characters that you don't select aren't in the dungeon. Legarde is always dead. Demon Seed cannot be used. Basically, you cannot have controllable party members in your party. The only permanent party members you can recruit are ghosts and skeletons with necromancy. That's it? No, you cannot save in this difficulty. No Book of Enlightenment, they have all been removed. The beds don't allow you to sleep anymore, except for the one in Tower of the Endless, but it's not gonna let you save. And then on top of that, you remember the 25% chance of finding rotten food from food barrels? Now you also have, before that, a 17% chance of finding nothing in food barrels.
Good luck.
And then, you know, let's get this out of the way. So, the last difficulty can be unlocked if your main character is gonna be called Schoolboy, Schoolgirl, or School Kid. And this mode is basically a dating simulator in the universe of Fear and Hunger. The characters are dateable for like a sort of festival or something. I don't know, I only tried this mode once and I got the Pocket Cat, so I'm pretty happy, but still...
If you don't like Dating Simulator, you shouldn't play it.